Welcome back to our Getting Ready for Q4 series. This is part 2 of our Thanksgiving episodes. In this video here, we talked about my numbers from last Q4 and my specific sales that came from Thanksgiving related items specifically, which will leave you inspired to get listing early. And we covered some very profitable Thanksgiving niches you might want to consider designing in and selling products for this Thanksgiving. Each niche is really targeting a specific type of customer and can actually be built on throughout the year, which is a great way for you to double down on anything that starts to work for you. We are going to be choosing one of those niches that we chatted about in that video and going through the market research and design process for it. Now, we should really take a second to note here the two big things that have helped me experience success is understanding how to choose good niches that can be added to throughout the year, and how to do solid market research when I am hitting the design process. These are the niches we chatted about in the last video. I will link that video down below and at the end of this video if you missed it and wanted to watch it. That way you have easy access. And before you grab a pencil and try to write all of this down that's behind me right now, I did make this available as a free download, and you can head down to the description, click the link, and you'll get a download. You get this page and another page about design aesthetics that work for Thanksgiving, cross-niche ideas, and some popular Thanksgiving phrases. If you are taking your prep work for Q4 seriously and want to make the very best use of your time and would love a resource for that, you will also want to see a link that's down there in the description to a complete Q4 holiday guide. It basically takes you from July through November and tells you what and when you should be listing, along with lots of other information about great holiday products to sell, scalable phrases, and sub-niches to get into to help yourself stand out during the holiday sales. But however you choose to organize yourself and plan for Q4, just please be sure that you are listing early and not waiting until close to listing deadlines to get started. It will seriously make all the difference, I promise you. I do not suggest you try to tackle all of these Thanksgiving niches I have up here. That would mean a lot of SEO research and perhaps a lot of time spent hunting down mock-ups. Just pick 2 to 4 places to design and list and go wild in just those couple of spots. You do not want to try to list in all of these places and then only wind up with a few listings for each. You really want to do a deeper dive than that. Pick just 2 or 3 spots to list and list bunches of things in those spots. Even better if the 2 or 3 that you choose kind of overlap, and I'll show you an example of this later in the video. That will make it even easier for you. We're going to focus on mommy and me, and that way we can really pull all the mommy designs and list them again with Thanksgiving SEO separately. That's your search engine optimization, your title and your tags, the way that customers are finding you. And then we could pull all of the kiddo designs from our mommy and me group listing and go ahead and list those separately with toddler SEO on them. And if it works and the design lends itself to it, we might even think about then doing a sibling design for it and listing it as a sibling design or a sibling set, again with another set of SEO. This way we can really get a little more bang for our buck. Now, if we are going to spend that much time listing these designs and listing them more than once, we better be darn sure that we have done our market research and that we are making a really good swing at bat with these designs. Real quick, we're just going to jump on uspto.gov and we're going to check the phrase mommy and me to make sure we're good there. We won't be writing these words on the actual shirts, but we would want to make sure that it's not trademarked before we use it in our SEO, in our title, and in our tags. If it were trademarked, we would still make things for the mommy and me niche. We would just find a different way to express it in our SEO. Heading right over to uspto.gov, hitting trademarks, search trademarks. Right here, trademark, electronic search, basic word mark search. Gonna hit live. and I'm going to write Mommy and Me into the search bar here. And here's the list. I see Mommy and Me with an and sign. I want to go ahead and make sure I'm not going to have a problem there. That's for mattresses, so we're good there. I'm just going to take a minute. I'm going to go through this list. There are 38 records here, and I've gone ahead and checked all of them. We are not going to have an issue for shirts. So you always just want to make sure that you head over to uspto.gov and make sure that it's not trademarked for the item that you are going to be using, that whether it be actually on the item itself. This one is just the heart. The way that they've written it there is what's trademarked. The reason you want to make sure you click live is because it doesn't matter if there's a dead trademark on it. That's old, is expired, you don't have to worry about it. And Mommy and Me was trademarked. And so if I had had the live and the dead in there, it would have been mixed in. Here it is, it's dead. We don't have to worry about it. It's no longer something that could get us in trouble. But with that being said, it shows you how important it is that you kind of stay away from certain terms that could become trademarked, like a trending phrase on a shirt. You might not want to put that in your SEO, just to kind of keep yourself as a little bit of a safeguard. And when you go into a niche to relist things, that's when I take the opportunity to just go check my trademarks again, to make sure nothing got trademarked since the last time I looked it up. I just wanted to bring this to your attention real quick, in case you hadn't heard in a while, to remember to check your trademarks. Also, if you're new, maybe you haven't heard it yet. So I thought I'd bring your attention to it. I do have a video all about it that goes more into depth. I'll link it down below if that's something that you need to check out. I quickly added this bit into this video and decided to cover this real fast because I came across this article right here. I won't go into a side tangent here about the topic of this article, but it is about, being safe and making sure that you're selling things you're allowed to sell and not getting infringements. And this is content we as small business owners really should spend some time consuming, because it's how we're going to keep ourselves safe and our businesses safe. If you don't want to miss that upcoming video, make sure that you subscribe, but you do want to make sure you stay in the know with these things. All right, let's jump into it. First, I'm just going to show you how I used Everbee, a tool to help me make sure that I was bringing a good niche to you. And this is what I do each time that I'm about to sit down and design. I just double check and make sure that I'm designing in a place where it looks favorable and that there's space for me to enter the market and that there's bestsellers and people searching this. Then we're going to get into the design research. That's where we're going to spend the chunk of our time, and then we're going to put a design together. I'm in Everbee and I'm using their keyword research tool, and I'm just going to put in the search bar real quick a couple of phrases and just double check. We're going to put Mommy and Me, and we're going to see that this phrase gets a score of 30. You can see it up there at the top right. Looking at the other keywords here, related keywords, 30 is pretty decent. As far as I'm concerned, if I see a 30, I feel like I can go in that direction. I'm going to look for other phrases, but a lot of phrases are going to have 0, 10. I really want to do a little digging to make sure that I can find words that are a little better than that. We've got our volume, our competition, and our keyword score across the columns here. So Mommy and Me, we've got a score of 30. We see there's a nice volume, but there's a lot of competition. So that's why it gets a score of 30. Better than 10, but not as good as something, let's say, like 60. So here, there's like some other spellings, and here, they made a mistake with the space. I don't really, I'm not an expert on this part. I would not bother to put Mommy and Me without the space. Etsy has said that they use the algorithm is smart enough to know if there's a misspelling and things like that. So I don't pay too much attention to that. I'm looking for more, a phrase that's spelled correctly. Mommy and Me gift, 40. So when I put my SEO chunk together, I might use that. Matching Mommy and Me is another 40. So I like that. I'll probably sprinkle that in to my SEO chunk. When I say SEO chunk, I'm talking about my title and my tags, just all of the pieces that go together for people to find me. It will be hard to find bestsellers when you're to the market early. That doesn't mean you shouldn't. Mommy and Me shirt, 40, nice, that's pretty good. That doesn't mean you should not enter the market early. It means that you will have a little bit harder time doing your research. I'm going to show you a way around that when we're designing. And this is one of the ways I get around that when I'm doing my SEO. Match mommy and me, 900. I would use that. I would try that one out. 60 mommy me outfits, 60 mommy and me outfits. Liking that one a whole bunch. So I'll definitely sprinkle that in along with ones that have 10, 20, and 30. 40 here, matching mom and me. I do have a link to Everbee down in the description if you're wanting to check it out. It's there. And this is a screenshot from eRank. I don't have a link in the description to them, but I figured I'd show you the information I had access to here. So we've got mommy and me, and we could see average searches is green up there at top. The Etsy competition is red. And so that's bad, right? And then we see the trend there, the trend calendar. But it's okay that this is bad because we're not just doing generic mommy and me. We're going to be doing Thanksgiving themed mommy and me. So we're niching this down. Thanksgiving shirt, another green bar at the top there for average searches. Etsy competition is red. So yes, there's a lot of competition, but this shows us that Thanksgiving is big, big, big for volume of searches. And it's showing us that mommy and me is big, big, big for volume and searches. So we're going to combine these two big categories. Now we're going to head on over to Etsy to do some market research for our designs. We're going to do a couple of searches. I'm starting here with mommy and me. Mommy and me shirts is what I have up there. We're going to go ahead and filter this so that we have all of the best sellers. So you're going to go to all filters. You're going to go to star, apply that, and you go up to the search bar. Sorry, it's not visible here. And you're going to erase the word star and you're going to put the word best. And now we've got all the best sellers at the top. So the first row is going to be, right here I know it's bestsellers, just showed you the icon. The first row is going to be ads, and then the second row we're looking at, what we're looking for right now are trends in the designs. So things that I'm noticing. I'm noticing this orange, this kind of burnt orange color. I see mama and mama's pumpkin. We're seeing this 9x9 pattern over here with the pumpkins. Very generic, that is. I would be finding a way to really niche that down. We've got mama and Minnie. We've got a thunderbolt on top of mama, on top of the text, the repeated text. That's cute. They've got the back print. Oh, they've got raising a wildflower and wildflower. That's very popular. It was very popular at Mother's Day. Interesting. I wonder if we could pumpkin that up. Here we've got that one with the 3 shirts, suggesting to the buyer to buy 2 minis. That pumpkin color again, we've got little pumpkin on a couple of these. Mama and Minnie, very popular. We've got some of it we've got the big heart there with mama and Minnie over it. We've got the repeated text. We've got more burnt orange. This is an ad, but I see this a lot with the mama and the Minnie with the flowers coming up. You could think of a way to Thanksgiving that up a bit. It's a popular look. Girl mama, which might be trademarked, mama's girl. We've got a skeleton hand. You don't want to do the Barbie. You kind of stay away from the Barbie stuff. That could get you into trouble. We're just looking. I see mama written across real big on a couple of these. And now we're going to do another search. This time we're searching mom shirts. Let's just see what we get when we do mom shirts. We're going to do a couple of broad searches like this, and we're just going to, and I made notes over to the side. You could see mama and Minnie, flowers behind words, raising a wildflower and wildflower. Mama and mama's little pumpkin, burnt orange, 9x9 grid of pumpkins. Okay, so we've got our best sellers. We're getting that to the front, and we'll make another little section of notes here. I don't always actually make myself notes, but I'm doing this for you so you could see kind of what I'm keeping track of in my mind. And if you're a visual learner, that'll help. And then if you need to write it down for yourself, then do it. I used to write it down for myself. You get better at it so you don't wind up having to do that and you start noticing things. All right, so we're going to do mom shirt search and we'll make some more notes. I'm noticing that Thunderbolt. I'm going to go ahead and jot that down. We're going to skip the ads when we're looking, and we're really just looking for the best sellers. I'm seeing repeated text. I'm seeing mama written really big across these shirts again. I see that volleyball 9x9 grid there. That's kind of fun for sports. Different. Lots of mama, and again, a lot of them written really large across the shirt. There's another one. Another Thunderbolt. Another big mama, another big mama. Very popular look on the mom shirts. Repeated text again, like the cursive word on top of it. We've got to, stay away from the happy faces. I don't do anything like this. There's some question, there's some trademark issues with that. So I don't do anything happy face, and I know they're very aggressive. So I can't say for sure what's allowed and what's not, so I stay away from it. A lot of sports stuff for the mom shirts. Interesting. Football. Another sports. Repeated text there. I'm seeing some retro text, which that's been popular. There's a smiley face on top of that one, so I wouldn't do that, but we wouldn't be going that direction anyway. We'd be maybe trying that with a big pumpkin on top, because we're going to take this and we're going to Thanksgiving up these looks that we're seeing. Another big mama. This one's funny, and it's also sports related. I teach my kid to hit and steal. Funny stuff sells well. And I see some more sports stuff here. Interesting. Our next session here, our next little design session, we're going to look at Thanksgiving toddler shirts. And we're just going to take that in and see what's doing well here. So let's make sure we get our star seller. Don't forget to do that. I've done research before, gotten through the first page, and realized I wasn't looking at bestsellers. I didn't mean to say star seller a second ago. So star seller, change it to bestsellers. This is what we want. Skipping the ads, focusing on the true bestsellers. All right, we're seeing that this one must be doing really well. It's coming up in all these searches. The 9x9 grid for the pumpkins. We're seeing a lot of Halloween stuff here because we're early with the thing. That's what's selling right now. Although I see a football one there to the side. Interesting. Duly noted. Let's jot that down. We are not going to ignore that. You don't want to ignore things that you're seeing popping up a lot. So in a few weeks, we're going to see a lot more Thanksgiving bestsellers popping up. But by then, hopefully we're well into our listings and we'll be adding more. But we're not going to wait for that because we want to have a chance of having one of our items in the running for that bestseller, those bestsellers that are happening, getting all that traction. We want to be early. So we're going to see a lot of Halloween stuff here. We're going to skip it. I see more burnt orange. A lot of those little walking dudes, I just wrote it down and didn't mention it, but a lot of those, little guys that are walking with the eyeballs. They're little cute 70s looking dudes. A lot of Halloween stuff. Got a pie gobbling up the whipped cream, that's cute. Little pumpkin. I think I may have already jotted this down before, but just in case. Mr. Steal Your Pie, that's really cute. Maybe we could figure something out with that for a mom shirt to go with it. I see dude a lot. These are Halloween shirts, but I'm going to jot that down. That could be interesting. More football. And you might have noticed something I haven't, which is great. Just make sure you're jotting, making mental notes of this when you're doing your research. Let's do page 2 here. I'm seeing a lot of sibling shirts. Here's Big Sister. I'm also seeing a lot of the wavy text, like over to the right there in the pink. A lot of that. That's very popular anyways. The longer you do this, the more you start seeing connections throughout lots of designs. That's definitely one of them. That wavy text. If you don't like the wavy text, that's okay. Design it anyways. You're not here. You're here to make money, aren't you? So do what's going to make you money. And don't be late to these trends. Big cousin. So interesting. Sister. More football. Definitely seeing some sibling shirts. I went ahead and did the same process that I've been doing with you. I went ahead and did that for Thanksgiving shirts also. And I jotted down that I saw the phrase "'tis the season" popping up, "hey pumpkin" and "hello pumpkin." So now we're ready to take all this research we've done and design. Just want to take a second to highlight real quick here that when you start listing early, you will have a hard time finding the bestsellers in the holiday niche that you're listing for. You will find many more as you get closer to the deadline for listing and beyond it. As you actually approach the holiday, of course, you'll see tons of bestsellers. But it's too late to be starting to list then and expect to have traction. So you're going to have to just pull your SEO from the more broad niches like Mommy and Me, even though we didn't find a lot of bestsellers that were Thanksgiving Mommy and Me. And then just do your best to add what makes sense to hit those Thanksgiving phrases. Paid tools like Everbee can help you to do this. As you continue to list up right until that listing deadline, then you're going to see a lot more popping up. You'll be able to put new things out there with better SEO, which is then going to give you more data for next year when you start to list and you're there again early. You'll be able to go into your own listings to see what people were finding you for, and that'll be part of how you choose your SEO next year. Okay, it is time to get designing. We're going to hit Kittl and we're going to put a design together that I think is going to be great. It's very inspired by our research. But real quick before we do, if you are finding value in this series and you want to make sure you don't miss the next one, don't forget to subscribe. I am planning out the Christmas portion episodes of this series, and so far I've kind of got that pegged out to 4 different videos that I think are going to be super helpful for you. But the only way that I know if something's helpful for you is by certain metrics that the videos get, and that's views and that's likes. So I'll be looking to see how many views that this video is getting, how many likes that it's getting, and that'll help me to know how deep I should dive into the Christmas portion of this. It's kind of like our likes and our favorites and our sales on our listings. If you're not getting those things, then you pivot. You know that no one's liking that. So you're not going to keep producing something that someone's not liking. So if you are liking this and you want me to do a deep dive into that Christmas stuff, make sure you like the video. Otherwise, that's telling me I need to pivot and I need to figure out what you do want and not keep, talking about things that you don't want. While you're down there, make sure you head into the comments and answer me this. Why did they let the turkey join the band? I'll answer that in the next video. Or if you think you have a better Thanksgiving joke, definitely ask it down in the comments. That's fun to read. Okay, let's get over to Kittl. Let's make this happen. First things first, I need some good clip art. You can get a link to my favorite place to get clip art, which is Creative Fabrica. You could try it for free, and that's where we're going to head right now to get our clip art. I have a link to them in the description, and we're going to go with a football theme here since we saw so many shirts in the toddlers and in the mom niche with the football theme. So I thought this was just perfect. You can see over to the right, it says commercial and full POD usage allowed underneath the green download button, which tells me I'm safe to use this piece of clip art and that I have rights to sell it. I just headed into Kittl, and over to the left, there's a little upload icon. I'm going to click that little upload icon. I downloaded the turkey onto my computer, and now that little green arrow there, I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to be able to upload that little turkey into Kittl. And I'm actually just going to drag and drop the turkey right in. I'm just going to drag the turkey right onto my canvas, and then I can grab the corners and just stretch him out and resize him to where I want him. Now, what I really want to do is crop him though. If I do the corners, all I can do is resize him, and when I grab those, I want to crop him so I have half a turkey. I have to click the W. When I have him selected and I press W, I get these little squares. It took me a few minutes to figure this out. So there's a little shortcuts button over to the left bottom corner, and that will tell you to click W. You select the turkey, click W, and now I can crop him. So I'm going to exit the crop, and here I have half of a turkey, which is exactly what I wanted, because now I can write Mama underneath the turkey, and I can write Mini underneath the turkey. I just clicked the text button. It says there at the top, add text, add headline. So I clicked add headline, and now I'm just stretching that out so it reaches the whole space there underneath the turkey. I do need to blow that up quite a bit. I'm writing Mama, and we're gonna take a little while. We're gonna pick our fonts, but let's go ahead and blow it up a little bit first so we can see what we're doing. Over to the right, I'm just messing with this text. I just put 2000 in there. I'm trying to get it blown up nice and big. Now I've got my little squares I could actually pull on it. All right, we're gonna just trial and error here. We're looking at a font that would look nice. We could also go back to our research and kind of see what was looking good. You always want to go with something very legible, very easy to read. We'll be able to see it from the thumbnail. I think I might go with this. I did see some of those like collegiate type of fonts, collegey looking. I feel like this kind of encompasses that a little bit, but it's very big and very easy to read. So I just changed the color, and I made the background transparent, and now I can also do a mini version of that. So I could put Mama, I'm going to put Mini. I'm remembering that I'm thinking I'm also going to hit the sibling niche, and I can quickly scale this design over to that. So I'm going to put Big Bro. That was coming right off the toddler shirts. There was a lot of Big Bro and Little Sister bestsellers there. So I'm going to go ahead and add those right now. So I'm ready to mock those up and list them. In the drop-down menu for those sibling shirts, I would make it possible for the parent to select big brother, big sister, little sister, maybe middle child. Maybe I'd throw that in there as well. You could also go into personalizing these when you put your toddler SEO on them, since we said from the beginning of the video that we were going to try to hit toddler, mommy and me, and sibling. I could go and just offer to put the child's name on those shirts. I had intended this Thanksgiving market research video to be one video. There are so many places we could go with this research. There's thousands of designs we could now do because of the market research we did. I am getting a lot of messages in the comments from people saying, but how are you taking this one idea and now you're saying you're getting all these ideas from it? So depending on how well this video does, if it does get a lot of likes, I will go ahead and do a kind of a sequel to this video before we get into Christmas. I am willing to do it, guys. I am willing to hit this Q4, get into every nook and cranny of it with you and give you all the things that are in my head and all the things that I think, if you embrace, could help you make the best version of your shop that you could possibly make. Express this to me and I will do it. But I could do another sequel to this video before we get into the Christmas stuff that really does a deep dive into more designs and other ideas that we could do off the research we already did. Again, I'm not going to try to list in all of those niches that we mentioned in the last video. I'm going to pick 2 or 3 places and I'm going to explode my shop in those 2 or 3 places. This is time effective because now I'm not going and finding whole new chunks of SEO, my title and my tags. All I'm doing is fine tuning the SEO a little bit. For this particular design, I'm going to want the word football in there 2 or 3 times. I'm not going to have to do an entire session of research to find that, but I will find just 2 or 3 phrases or ways that I can add the word football in there. And the rest of it's going to be mommy and me, and a couple times the word Thanksgiving needs to be used, or fall. So it's just a really effective way to build out your shop and just stick with a couple of niches, not spread yourself too thin. Okay, let's keep talking about getting ready for Q4 in this video, but not until after this tip from my little turkey, Tucker. Tucker, take it away.